I don't know anybody who's plus size who would try to order from Forever 21.
If
they don't sell your shit in the store, then why would you go there?
They have a plus size section.
I got some clothes from
What do
Forever
they have?
21.
Like a thumbnail? Is it like a thumbnail?
They actually have. If you go into the store, they have a whole
21.
section.
They have a whole section, like a real section?
Plus size clothes.
Because I remember when I used to date someone who shopped at Forever 21, and she was like, I shop here because they always have stuff in my size. I'm like, what about the bigger girls? And she was like,
I mean, I don't know how long ago that
That's their
was,
problem.
but Forever 21 does have a plus size.
Take your Ann
There's
Taylor,
too many obese women
Joan Taylor.
in America.
exactly.
not
Ann
to have
Taylor, Taylor been racking up for a long time.
We're not going to speak on fat things because that whole argument.
I mean, the whole thing about speaking on fat things is, first and foremost,
Let's
it don't
speak
really
on
matter.
it.
Second of all,
You can dog a woman, but you can't talk about the fat.
I mean,
overweight.
second of all, that goes more so into fitness, which we had a video on that we watched the other day where this woman was like, fitness is hard, and niggas like, that's why it's called exercise.
I'm not getting into that.
But yeah,
I don't speak on
she was
that.
like, not everybody can lose weight, and he's like, exercise.
Everybody.
Exercise plus.
My whole
diet.
problem with most fat
If you
people
can
is
gain it, you can
they
lose
secretly want to be skinny.
No, my main problem with most people who
They
happen to
complain
be
about it.
overweight is the fact that people always make excuses for why they're overweight.
I got big bones. Bitch, you telling me your bones look like this? Y'all remember that?
Exactly. Yeah, that's my only problem is when people make excuses. If you are just overweight and proud, I don't care. And if you're just overweight and existent, I
Now,
don't
are
care.
you really proud or is that just fake?
No.
false?
Some people are overweight and they cool with it. They're like, look,
I mean, that's fine.
I'm
There's-
overweight.
yeah, I
But
saw a video
I just hate
of
the
a-
people who make excuses for it. Like they have no control over this whatsoever. Like my thyroid is overactive. Yet I see on Reddit on our fitness story a week of someone who's like, I had thyroid problems and look at my progression for all these things that I've done. I had to cut to this specific
don't want
diet.
it.
Again, with fitness is always about not wanting. I seen a woman whose back was broken who managed to lose weight. I mean, she had to work some really ridiculous shit that I wouldn't want to do personally to work out. But again, if you want it, it's achievable.
Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I don't agree with obesity. However, I will say that sometimes with illnesses, that for some people it's a.
I'm making excuses.
There's obesity.
No.
There's obesity and there's being overweight.
For some people, an illness, whether
But now we're making excuses.
Let me finish.
Yes.
For some people, it is a spark for change, and for others, it becomes depressing and
Debilitating?
Yeah. Well, not even that. It just.
So what you're saying
it
is they got a
depresses
brittle
them.
soul.
Yes.
Are you talking about liberals?
No, we're talking about people who let illness be the end.
To become obese, you had to start seeing something, and you're like, dang.
Well, no. The problem is that most people, a mirror is something that you should look at. Like that's one reason I like this room. This room has nothing but mirrors, so that you can see yourself. But most people don't see themselves in the mirror. They just see what they would like to see in the mirror.
Those people that are becoming overweight are married.Moving on. Next.
Woo! God damn! Shots fired at
You eat a lot when you happy.
But let's talk. Since we on some nigga shit, we gonna talk about the movie. I got the hookup too.
You gonna talk about that? I ain't got nothing.
Exactly. Aaron said, "I know you hated it, so tell me about what you tell me your review. Of I got the hookup too first half.
Wait, before you start, was Master P in it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's his thing.
Yeah, he was in it.
Okay.
And
This nigga is
halfway through the movie, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. It wasn't good. The acting wasn't good. Like I don't even remember the first one. And I started to go back and look at it first, but I was like, you know what? It can't be that far from the second. And
it wasn't.
Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. It was not good to me.
Well, was the soundtrack at least good?
The soundtrack was decent it was black, so it was like niggas slightly above SoundCloud.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. That should let you know about it. But I thought the movie was pretty good.
So
the reason that I liked it is because I knew going into it was gonna be nigga shit, and that's all it was. Ooh, it's just nigga joke after nigga joke. Intro to some fine, not black woman, ironic, and some other thing. Like that whole scene where the girl was trying to do the typing and she was talking to the girl who was like, we can't do any tread lines on your credit. And like they were trying to have like a little catfight thing. I was like, this is some foolishness. Absolute foolishness.
I was walking with the baby.
Oh yeah, the girl was walking with the baby with the booty shorts. Oh, and then
black. Oh my God! Shut up! Don't say anything. It's like it's the same joke. I feel like
that's what we mean by when people aren't good actors. You're just like, that's typecast. That's
he's typecast.
I feel like he's a rerun.
How can he be a good actor when he's not even?
No. We was talking about. I can't remember who it was. I think we was talking about The Rock. No, it wasn't The Rock. It was somebody.
No, it was
and he was like, he's a good actor, and I was just like, no.
We was talking about
Brad was not.
No, not Brad Pitt.
What's the short guy?
Mission
Tom.
Impossible.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Yeah, and I was like, he's not a good.
He's the same person
He's
every
good at
single.
acting himself.
Which brings me to us. Let me.
Oh, so we gonna skip over. So
Go
I got to hook up too. If you want to know the movie,
I'm
watch
sorry.
it. If you don't watch it.
Somebody
But either
got
way,
one.
I'm gonna support all these Master P movies that he says are coming out. They probably won't. It's gonna be just like Choices all over again. 360 Mafia. They announced after Choices movie they was gonna do all this shit and they didn't. But going
Master
into
P gonna
us,
do it.
controversial take right now.
I don't think Lupita is a good actress.
Woo, shit.
I don't like her for a totally different reason.
That's the only thing I'll have to say about that. Now, I kind of feel conflicted because there are so many white mediocre actresses who are, the elite of Hollywood.
Jennifer Lawrence.
God.
She was good at Hunger Games. That's
Nigga,
about it.
Hunger Games is the exact liberal individual lifestyle that we talked about on that other video you had us watch.
First, I thought you were going to say Homegirl from Captain Marvel.
But what has Lupita
Brie
been
Larson's
in
not even an actress,
besides-
all right?
Brie
Stop
Larson
lying.
is a joke.
Brie Larson isn't an actress. She was great in Scott Pilgrim, and that's the only role she's done well.
She was in Scott Pilgrim. Who
Yeah,
was she?
she was the girl that Scott dated before.
Yeah.
She wasn't Ramona though, right?
No, she wasn't Ramona. Ramona is Elizabeth Winstead, I think. She made an album after that. She was decent, but she hasn't really done anything that's been as good as Ramona either. Pretty much none of them outside of Michael Cera have had a career after that, except for Chris Evans and the guy who played the vegan guy because he went on to be a Quicksilver, I believe.
So y'all hated Us. They just now saw it, guys.
Yeah,
We
they
already
just
did a
now saw
review of
Us.
it.
I didn't.
They just
I didn't
like-
enjoy it.
I like Us.
I thought Us was a great
I don't think
breakdown
it
of
was as good
America
as Get
and
Out. There's a lot of hidden meaning in there.
Definitely wasn't as good as
The
Get Out.
dad was like supposed to be comic relief. He was a fucking buffoon.
They
Like,
made him look like a bitch. But
yeah,
we're not
I
even
did
gonna
not.
go
I did not enjoy it.
But that was part of the movie. They made him look like a straight up bitch,
Yeah.
and they highlighted how she was
A
this
hero.
So then, how does
superhero.
Jordan Peele feel about black men? You a bitch in
You
Us.
ever met with? You ever?
And-
read-
Have you ever talked to
And
Jordan
Coons
Peele?
Look at
and,
he's a,
Have you seen
and
his
Get Out.
comedy
He's
before?
basically a white guy. I mean, we hate it. I don't like to say it like that, but they're not black.
No. They are black people who
He's
have
a
been.
potato,
They
black on the
are
outside.
black
What I
people who have been educated, who also are slightly removed from blackness.
The Obamas.
They don't have black.
No. Obama had a
still
black,
was brother.
Obama may not have done the things that you would have expected from
Yeah.
a black man, but he's still black. Obama's someone who could tell you, I don't fucking like these white people, but at the same time, nigga, we got to get this money.
Yeah, he was.
With
Yeah.
that being said, I do admire the Obamas.
No, and that's another thing. I like Key and Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele and
Peele.
Michael Keegan Key are
Michael
great
Keegan.
in what they do. Their comedy, their delivery, their stuff. Especially since they're gonna have this new
They're
film.
like black kids who grew up around white kids, and they're like fish out of water, and they still understand black culture, but they don't really.
Okay, so
they can be
okay.
around black people.
This just reminded me of something that's completely off topic. I tried to date a black man who I was his first black woman dating.
Why did you do that?
Oh my God. It was a fucking disaster. That nigga is a coon.
Well, yes.
Like a
If you
coon
grow
through
up and you're the
fucking
token
through.
your entire time, you're not going to realize that most of your ideas are the ideas that you come to a consensus with people who have benefited from an institutional and racist system.
He was
Why
a
was?
coon.
Can you give me one specific example of why he was a coon? Because I've heard people say that about me, and I'm just like, I'm not a coon. You got to go with facts. You don't necessarily.
I don't
gotta
think
go
you're
with
a
fiction.
coon. You don't-
No, okay. It was a situation with my sister, and there was this white guy, and they was parking their car, and the white guy walked up to him and said something. They started arguing with him. They put this whole video up, and I was just like, I don't think he was racist. I think he was white. And he was like, white people think they run the world. He's like, no,
Correct.
he's not racist. You're just defending a coon. I was like, y'all don't think you got to there's a difference that you need to notice with white people. There are white people who think they run the world and they can tell you what to do, not simply because you're black. It's because they're white, but they're not hating you because of your race or whatever. They're just white people. And
They
white
just
people
think that they run the
everything.
world.
Yeah, it's kind of like those white people. Sometimes when they're like, she called the police. Like, she's not always because she's a racist. It's because she thinks she runs the world and she thinks she has authority over it.
But that's still rooted in white supremacy.
Well, no,
That's
no, no.
why they
It-
run
it
the
is
world.
still
But
rooted.
they're not racist. We got to be careful because white people throw that
Well,
word around like it's
So
cool.
quasi, I would say they're not prejudiced, but they're upholding and benefiting from
racism.
From racism.
Correct. Then yeah, but we can't that like Donald Trump. I'm gonna say this and people may not like it. I don't think he's racist.
I think he's very prejudiced.
I think he's prejudiced, but I don't think he's racist. I think if
Give me a
white
definition of prejudice and racism.
Prejudice is where you don't like someone for some benign feature, such as I don't like the fact that that nigga's brown skin. That's prejudice.
Thank you.
Racism is me saying,
I don't
you know
like
what?
all-
I don't like any brown skinned
Oh,
people,
majority.
and on top of that, I'm gonna do everything I can
To systematically
to
oppress you.
systematically oppress brown people because fuck you guys.
yeah, and white people on TV keep repeating he's a racist, he's a racist, he's a racist. He obviously still I think think he's one of those.
But that's liberal culture because they don't have the ability. It's kind of like pretty much like Republicans. Republicans can't see the fact that if we talk about, let's say, reparations, that black people aren't asking for a handout. We're asking for what would help take the gap that's currently wide and make it small. We're not asking for handout. At the same time, those who are on the liberal side, they can't just be like, oh, there's such a thing as prejudice. They can't have there be this level of discrepancy. So they just throw everything into racism, or everything is either you're some sort of phobe or you're racist.
Correct. They lack conjecture.
Well, I think Donald Trump is in fact a racist. I think he is sexist. I think he is homophobic. He is an elitist. True. White. But the thing I do, I'm not going to say appreciate or admire, but the thing I can respect about Donald Trump is he's not sugarcoating who he is.
I don't think he's sexist.
He is who he is.
How is he sexist? I'm giving because I think you're repeating a media narrative, and I don't see.
Well, no, I think he's sexist.
How is he sexist?
How he's behaved around Miss Americas. I'm not saying that he'd be the only person that
he was he would be in the dressing room while they were getting undressed.
Yes.
How many of those
grab her
women
by
would
the
have slept with him
pussy
in general?
Oh, I'm not saying that a lot of those women wouldn't have slept with him. But that is still part of sexism, is the fact that you think it's okay. Now,
no, I don't think that it's okay, but if you had such a problem with it, why are you even...
Remember what we always say. People don't have a problem with it if they think your bank account is big. When your bank account is small, everything's a problem. But the fact that he... on multiple occasions walking into their dressing room means that people who...
He felt empowered to do so.
Exactly. Because people in there were just like...
So he had the best character? No.
This is Donald Trump.
Because some things people call sexist, because he doesn't want I don't think he really talked about it. Like this whole abortion thing, they're trying to put it on him, but
But that had nothing to do with Donald Trump.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with him. They call you a sexist if you don't want women to get abortions. I'm just like, nigga.
Well, first and foremost, it's not sexist because there's nothing I can do to stop a woman from having an abortion if she wants to have one, whether it be coat hanger or California.
Coat hanger or California.
Exactly. But at the same time,
coat hanger to California.
At the same time, if you decide that you want to get an abortion and I don't get anything from it, I have maintained the same thing, which is every person, fuck it. Every black man should get one card where it's like, it's not my kid. And you should be able to throw it out on the play if you get somebody pregnant because... What? All of us have had an instance where we may have wanted a child and a woman said no, or because of racism.
What the hell? I'm confused.
I knew that's how you're going to be. So basically, we said, what should men do about women who want abortion? And we were framing this into, do women deserve to just have an abortion whenever? We feel that it should be about 16 weeks should be the cutoff. At the same time, we also feel that you should be able to do whatever you want with your body.
Nope.
But if I, as a man, want the child and you say, no, my body, my choice, then the state should issue me one whoopsie daisy.
No. Because once you impregnate a woman, the decision of what happens to that child is no longer yours.
But that's 50% my kid.
Why? It's his kid too.
But the woman, the
but it's 50% my DNA.
It's in her body.
But it's 50% my DNA.
But it's still in her body.
But that baby doesn't have a choice. And since I'm going to be the parent to that baby, I have to have a choice in my child's life as well. Why do you only get the choice because
the fact remains that the woman has all the power because she has the baby inside of her, or she has the embryo or the fetus, whatever.
The states are changing that, and that's the facts. All right, that's the facts. All right?
Well, that's so not going as far as what he's saying. That's cool. But what I'm saying is that we have weaponized child support to be any man who did not want to be part of it.
Correct.
But when a man does want to be part of it and a woman doesn't want to be part of it, a man gets nothing.
But that's
not... No. What I'm saying is let's make these two things whole. If you as a woman want to get an abortion, get the abortion you want. Destroy black babies. That's what y'all been doing for a long time.
Yep.
At the same time,
a lot of
and you know who pushed that idea of black women aborting their babies? White feminists.
Yeah, but we don't give a fuck about white feminists. This is about us. Just like the movie Us. The movie Us is about us. This is also about us. So what I'm saying is, as parity, if a man can prove that he has the means, the ability, and would like the child, I'm not forcing you to not. But what I'm saying is he gets a card, a whoops-a-daisy, so that the next time a woman wants to pin something on him and say, you're the child father, he can say, you know what? Nah, because last time I didn't get it and I respect your decision, so now you're going to respect mine.
I think that, I know where he's coming from, but that idea is just weird. That's why you just got to, I think the whole my body, my choice argument doesn't make any sense if it requires two people to make a baby. It just doesn't. You're completely disregarding the male in that situation. So if you're gonna completely disregard the male for helping you,
it's your body, your choice when you're cheating. So why can't it be my body, my choice?
Whoa! Cheating is a two-way street.
Cheating is a two-way street.
Okay.
Cheating is a two-way street. Yeah. What we're talking about is a child.
A child.
Okay.
And there have been plenty of fathers who've asked for custody, who didn't get custody, who have been destroyed by the system. It is a female-dominated system.
Court system is about games. That's why it's played. Everything on the court is played a game on basketball court, tennis court.